everybody, it is April, and I'm bringing you a review of Batman, issue 19. Bruce Wayne's greatest foe? Jim Gordon? Let's get into this. Alright, so, beginning of the comic, we see Harvey Bullock in the rest of the police department are outside of Gotham Bank, and someone's holding it up. So as Jim Gordon arrives, he said, he's saying, tell me it's not him. Tell me it's not really him. And to which Harvey replies, it's a 99 point, not a snowball's chance in hell's. It's not him %, give or take. Totally butchered that, but say it's damn. How is it possible? What's the status inside? So he's taken down at least 3 guards. No word on hostages yet, but he means business. I'll tell you that. Hang on, here he comes. So we see a woman walking out of a broken glass there, and it's revealed that it is Bruce Wayne, Nowhere Man. Beautiful little right there. Beautiful everything on this page is beautiful, and Jim Gordon's like, Mr. Wayne, we've been acquainted. Hell, we've been friends since before even the 0 year. Oh, the 0 year. Can't wait to pick that up. So we see Bruce Wayne, presumably Bruce Wayne says, you're being rude, Commissioner. Why don't I just introduce you to my friend? And he's torturizing this lady named Martha, and saying a bunch of stuff, but he's got a rig to some explosives, and as Jim and Bruce Wayne are negotiating there, Jim replies with saying, none of this makes any sense, first the money, and he says, what about it? He says, well, you're a billionaire, why do you need it? He's like, you know what? You're right. So he throws the bag of money that would be smoke bombs or whatever, and Jim Gordon grabs a gun from his little shin there, and as Bruce lets the woman go and hops on the motorcycle and pulls out a shotgun, to which Jim's saying, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it, Mr. Wayne, and kablam! Just, no love. Bruce shoots Jim Gordon, in the chest, sending his glasses flying off his face, and also making him shoot off around as well. And as Jim Gordon looks up, he says, just tell me why, Mr. Wayne. You've always been an example to the people of this city. You've always been a hero. And we see that under his shirt is the Batman symbol, Batman costume, what have you. And which Bruce replies, yeah, well, sometimes being a hero gets old, and just runs over Jim Gordon, runs off, and that's in the now. And we get flashback to 6 days ago, and Batman is on a interesting looking automobile, little two-balled motorcycle type thing, and he's having it so he's making stabilize so he can jump on the back of a truck, and we see a scythe-like weapon reaches through the back of it and pulls Batman on his neck. I'm surprised it didn't take his head off, right through into the back, and it's the Reaper. It's real to be the Reaper, old Batman villain, and amongst a bunch of flowers. And may I say, Greg Capullo draws flowers beautifully, awesomely, epically. Just that's gorgeous, And I love the design of just the mask there. It's like a skull, but still like a hazardous type mask thing. So we get a nice little piece of trivia there as Reaper's monologue. In Victorian times, every flower had a secret significance, coded language for the florography. A yellow carnation meant disappointment. A marigold meant sudden pain and suffering. And as he says that, Batman says, "Now!" And the truck stops. He goes flying, and Batman then remarks, "Here's your marigold, then," as he winds up a punch. And we see, who stopped the car? Well, it's Damian. He comes swinging from the top of the truck to see what's going on, and, it's nice to see Damian because we really didn't get a lot of him in Batman, with Snyder's Batman. But it's nice to see a little flashback of him because as we continue reading, you see Damian mention, "You're not recording this, are you?" And he said, "I'm always recording, Robin." Well, we feel that's a recording. Cowl, he's watching that on his Cowl archives there, it's even more painful to see because he's talking about it being a Class 7 toxin, amounting them to be dead in 5 minutes, but Batman having the antidote on the back, and Alfred comes in to interrupt his watching to say, between the Joker and and all that's happened, when Jason died, he watched him lose himself like this, little by little, and slip away and become, again, Batman interrupts Alfred by saying, "Enough." He usually does, and, just a shot of Alfred's face, very concerned. And next page we see, Alfred asking him, "Do you intend to return the calls from your friend Mr. Kent?" Interrupting him again, later. Obviously Mr. Kent, Superman, and and Batman also denying to attend the funeral of Mr. Wade, Brian Wade, and as Alfred tells him more about his death, it's actually a suicide, to which Batman is quite concerned, and doesn't really understand. Suicide, that doesn't make any sense. So he pulls up Brian Wade and he says, he'd been charged with, murder, of some henchmen for the Penguin, and as he's trying to figure that out, saying, evidence against him and daunting DNA at the scene, fingerprint for that 100-point facial recognition. He goes to the records there, and he begins a nice little monologue here that saying that Brian Wade is a principal architect at Wade Design, the firm I used to help design many of the new buildings that went up as part of the Gotham Initiative last year. I picked Wade because I liked him. I was struck by his love of the city, the good and the bad. In fact, Wade's buildings were known for the way they often celebrated their own brightest day lit points and darkest nighttime ones. The brightest spots, Wade liked to say, were for gatherings, and the darkest for personal reflection. I like that because it was I think a little homage into Green Lantern and stuff, so that was cool. And as he's looking through the travel logs, he says, he finds out, here, although it seems that Wade wasn't actually in town the week that murders occurred. And, as he's looking that up, he sees a figure, someone's behind him, and, surprise, surprise, it turns out that it's Brian Wade. It appears to be Brian Wade, and, he has a little flamethrower, and, they exchange words, and Batman throws a batarang at him, and he runs off, up through the elevator and into the subway. Batman can't find him, and he ends up finding the batarang, picking it up, and running it through the Bat computer on the Bat wing, and analyzing the DNA. It comes up Brian Wade, you know, and he's has an internal monologue saying, so why would he suddenly throw everything away to kill a couple of low-level henchmen and fake his death? Unless, you know, and he puts it in the computer, you know, search for chimeric code, search for trace code, you know, and trace is found but irrelevant determinant. And he says, identify anyway, estimate if need be. And it comes up Basil Karlo, also known as Clayface. And then once again, we see Batman goes on to some mythologies with, you know, shapeshifters and mimickers and stuff, and how now Clayface is now evolved into someone who can more than mimic anybody. If he comes in contact with people, he can, you know, really become them and bleed and stuff, and he's, you know, more than Clay, you know. He's talking about the Rashaka and Kimoho and Berserkers and Norse, and, you know, that's what I just really love that about, you know, Scott's work. On into the next page where you see Bruce is in Gotham Enterprise in a nice gray suit. Everything is gray, color schemed, and he's called up Lucius Fox, you know, about a new bat suit, an upgraded Batman suit for Batman, you know, not referring to himself, of course, you know, explaining to Lucius that Clayface has evolved, you know, and as the end on that, he asks, you know, Lucius, how was the wake, which, you know, says very affecting, and Bruce says, you know, I can imagine, you know, as he stares at a fire extinguisher, you know, which Lucius says, I'm sure you can, and he just spits up this clay, you know, it's revealed that it's actually, in fact, Clayface, and he grabs Bruce by the neck and freaking does some stuff that is very reminiscent of hentai, but, you know, it's up to you to, you know, look at that. Just, that's, yeah, you know, once again, lovely artwork, and, you know, Clayface says, you know, shush, Bruce, I'm not here for your money, we're twins now. Today, brother, you're going to help me end Batman once and for all. So, that's a sticky situation that Bruce is in. And all this is still 6 days ago. So, next will be the wrath of Clayface. And, yeah, so that was a great issue. Definitely awesome. I don't have much time yet, so let me just hurry up and... So, yeah, I love Snyder's writing because he really writes the Batman comics like a mystery novel. Like, and I just love that. I mean, I just love it. I mean, there's no major, real, like, super serious story arc going on, you know, coming off the heels of the death of the family and, you know, the Court of Owls, you know, all which were just really top-notch. You know, this is still just a awesome top-notch issue, and, you know, I absolutely love it. And I didn't even get to the backup story, which is also awesome, which, you know, adds another, you know, aspect of mythology with ghost-likes and stuff that I, unfortunately, do not have time to tap onto, but I love the new artwork. I prefer this over Jacques. It's written by James Tynan and the artist by Alex Malteve, and yeah, Superman appears in it, and we get a nice dialogue between him and Bruce, and that's all I can really say about that. But yes, once again, beautiful issue, awesome. Sorry it's late, but yeah, really looking forward to next issue, and yeah, peace. Follow me on Tumblr, Twitter, whatever. Like this video.